Test, test. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wanderers Who Love Alma Waterways. I'll be totally honest with you tonight. I am behind the gun, and I had something happening with my stove and my oven. I've been trying to repair for like 3 or 4 days now. And we finally got it to a point where we could at least take a break and go to the next task, which is we got the hinge fixed on the door, and now we got to put the door back together and hopefully get it to go back into the stove and not have to buy a new door. That's what we're hoping and praying for. So I am honestly being totally honest with you and human. And welcome, Barbara. By the way, uh, I'm being honest with you that I'm unprepared tonight, but I know what I want to talk about. Okay, that's what's important. I'm a Waterways Gold certified travel agent, and being certified, and I consider myself somewhat of an expert. I know where I want to go. I know what direction I want to go in. So you got to have a plan. I have a plan. I have 4 things I want to talk about tonight. I'm not even going to get into the promotions. I've talked about those quite extensively the last 2 weeks, other than to remind you that many of the promotions are going to end on June 30th or July 1st. So keep that in mind. So if you happen to look at their website or my co-branded website, and you see the promotions, or you see a page as I walk through that says offers, realize that many of those offers are going to expire June 30th and July 1st. So why are we here tonight? We're here to talk about Alma Waterways. This is Wanderers Who Love Alma Waterways. And I thank you for coming tonight once again. I'm grateful for being on time because I could have been very late. Anyway, Alma Waterways is based in Calabasas, California, and they've been in business for about 25 years, give or take a few. And there are right around 30 ships worldwide. And they are experts at luxury cruising in Europe, the Far East, including Cambodia and Vietnam, Egypt, Africa, and Colombia. And you know what's so funny? Often I kind of think that South Africa and Portugal are separate. No, South Africa is part of Africa, which is a continent, obviously, and then Portugal is part of Europe. Some reason I often want to put Portugal by itself all over there in the corner. Say, they go to Portugal too, but no, they do the Portugal River. So, and the Columbia River was brand new for 2025. So that is exciting itinerary for that river. Tonight, we're going to talk about 4 things, like I said, and we're going to stay on task. We're going to try to be quick. We're going to be 20 minutes or so out and done. Uh, Tulip time is one of the things we're going to talk about, which is in full swing right now as I speak. Belgium and Holland for the summer months. We're going to look at wine tours for the autumn or fall time period. And we're also going to look at Christmas markets for the holiday season. Uh, some of these we may have to, not that we'll do it tonight, but if you're interested in latching on board and getting on board one of these sailings, you may have to look at 27 or beyond, because many of their sailings are already full. That is because their ships range in size from as small as 54 passengers on the Zambezi Queen in Africa to about 150 maximum on the ship. So if you're used to ocean cruising where you have 3, 4, 5,000 people on a ship with all this extra activity and extra sensory stuff that some people can't handle, you're not going to have that with Alma Waterways. You're going to have a relaxing experience. It's going to be luxury. You're going to have a cruise manager at your beck and call. The crew members are going to know you by first name by the end of the second day. They're going to know your favorite drink. They're going to know what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat. They're going to work hard to try to make sure that your diet needs or your restrictions are met. If you like a certain type of food or cooked a certain way, or you don't like what's on the menu for that day, they're going to try to accommodate you with something else that you probably will like. The chef's table is one of the things that you experience during a 7-day cruise once, if not twice, during your journey. They do have a lunch that they add, an Italian lunch, that chef's table. And mind you, that is what's considered a premium or a specialty restaurant, but there are no specialty restaurants on Ama Waterways because every restaurant is included. You don't tip, you pay that in advance. Uh, some people choose to do that during their voyage or after their voyage personally with their steward or with the cruise manager just to bless them. But, it's asked that you have cash available for your tour guides, which they are not Ama Waterways employees. Based on east where you go and you stop in the different towns to visit, then they show up with the paddles and they guide you through the destinations where you're going to. So you want to tip those guys. So, you don't have all the extras that you would have on a ocean cruise ship. Your drinks are included, although it is a cocktail hour once a day, and you have drinks available for dinner and as well as for breakfast if you choose to have some wine for breakfast. Those are available. So those drinks are included. Many, many, many other things. Your excursions on every stop are included. Bikes are included for the bike type excursions. Everything that you'd want to think about is pretty much done, one and done with your price. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but like I like to tell people, you get more. You get what you pay for, so to speak. Do you want a Volkswagen cruise or do you want a Cadillac? We took it last year and we loved it. We were on Ama Waterways, Amadante, round trip Paris to Normandy, and it was a beautiful trip. We've taken a lot of ocean cruises, but this one was so relaxed, intimate, and that we got to meet passengers that we'd see every day at a meal, and develop some good speaking conversations and some good relationships with those people. Learned a lot about them, and it's just a good way to unwind. Often you go on a cruise or a vacation, you're like, oh, I need a vacation for the vacation. Not for this. You come back relaxed, refreshed, and ready to take on life or take on the grandkids, whichever one you have to deal with. But so tonight, we're going to talk about a few things. I'm going to jump around here. I am going to share my screen here, and we're going to go and we're going to take a look at, first of all, we're going to take a look at Tulip Time. And as you can see on the screen here, it pops up a few itineraries that are open to you. So we're talking about sailing through the seasons today. No matter what season it is, you can find a trip that I believe you will like. And even though the pricing can be, as you can see on this page, the pricing can be kind of up there, it is doable because you normally only need like a $400 deposit to start, and then you make payments either on your schedule or on a schedule that they suggest to you, and I work with you to make sure that those deadlines are met. That the payments are processed and everything like that, and that you're 100% paid probably 120 days out before you leave, including your airfare. We want to take care of your airfare so you don't have to worry about how am I going to get there, because you got to pay this price, but then you got to pay for airfare. So as you can see, for instance, for Tulip Time, the most economical cruise is a 7-night cruise over here that goes from Belgium, Netherlands, and it's the Amacerto, the Amafiora, the Amalucia, or the Amasiana, plus 5 other ships. So depending on which time or what itinerary you go on, it's going to determine what ship you're going to sail on. Like this one is the Amaviola, this one is the Amalucia, the Serena, the Amasiana, or the Amastella. So again, depending on where you're traveling from, this is Belgium, but it's a bit different itineraries. And as you can see, this is 9 days, 7 nights. There's different pricing, depending on where you're at and the ship, because some of the ships are a higher level. All of your staterooms are a higher level category. So you're going to end up spending more money. So let's take a look at this first one. The Tulip Time 7 nights, there's $27.79 per person. I think I read that right. It was $27.79, not 27. Yeah, $27.79. So keep in mind, I said I'm like, we're going to discover this together. I've seen some of it before already, but it's as if I'm not prepared because I'm going to use the screens and take you through. And if you want to follow these screens, you can go to Ama Waterways. It's spelled one word, AMA WATERWAYS, amawaterways.com/agent /Stapleton Direct Travel. That is the website I am on, and it is the name of my travel agency. So if you would like, you can follow along on the screens as I go along. I got to this screen by going to cruises, and then it was a journey with us tab in the middle where I typed tulip time. You can also get there by going cruises and then by date and by location. So this one starts in Amsterdam. You see my map over here to the right is reacting to what I do. So very at the top there in the center, you see Amsterdam. You got free time for that first day that you check in the afternoon. You're going to cruise at night with Ama Waterways. So each morning you're going to wake up to a new destination, possibly even a new country. So day number 2, you have a picturesque village and the fairy tale allure of the Dutch Venice. So you're along the Venice area and the Venice River or the Rhine River. So on each one of these, you have different uh, excursions options. As you see in red here, it'll say the Jessamine Scenic Cruise, Guy Thorne Tour, Floverland Tulips and Bulb Fields. Each stop gives you an opportunity to experience something different. So as you can see here, as I move through, my map shows you're in Amsterdam day 1 and 2, and you're cruising along the river. This section over here, you're going to cruise along the river. Day number 3, actually day 6. I'm following along. Give me a second here. Day number 3, I'm going to use this. You're through Bruni and Scenic Delta landscapes. So as you can see, you're in Bruni over here to the left, center, just south of Rotterdam. And Rotterdam, I'm not sure why it skips over from the first day to the third. It must come on the way back. Okay. So we're going to keep going forward. Okay. So on that day 3, Bruni, you have scenic cruising, you have a Zinkizi City Tour, and a Delta Works in Neeltje Jans. There's other options. It's a +1 here. It tells you there's more excursions that you can take on that stop. I'm not going over all of them in the interest of time. And again, you have a choice as to which one you would choose. Day number 4, we are in Antwerp. Options are the Great Walking Tour with the Adoration of the Mystic Lamb, Chocolate Workshop, a full-day Burgess excursion with Cathedral of Our Lady. Again, with all these, are going to be up to 8 excursions at every stop. It might be 3, might be 5, might be 8. And you can choose which ones you want to do. Or if you don't want to do anything, you can do that too. So, and on some of these, you're going to have the option of a bike tour. Day number 5, we're going to expand this one so we can see a little bit more about it. Culinary delights and historic sites in Antwerp. As you can see, we're in Antwerp. It highlights it in white. Ghent, I'm sorry, is the next one. Ghent, Belgium. Previously, we were in the Netherlands. We crossed over into Belgium. So we talked about that. Chocolate Workshop and all of that. So day number 5, we are in Ghent. Walking tour and cathedral visit, Antwerp bike tour, like I said before, and the Floralia flower show. We're going to click on this, +1 extra. So you have the walking tour and the cathedral visit. You have the Antwerp bike tour, the Floralia flower show, or the Belgian chocolate, beer, and wine waffle tasting. So again, you have a choice as to doing whatever you want or not doing anything. How about that? So we're going to go to the right here to day number 6, the storied harbors of Delfshaven and the windmills of Kinderjik. Wander through iconic windmills, 18th century sails float down peaceful canals, drift onward to Rotterdam, the gateway to Europe. You're going to experience vibrant streets, historic landmarks, and local flavors. Invite discovery or visit Delft's Royal Porcelain Factory and the Pilgrim Fathers' departure site at Delfshaven for a journey through history. Your choices of excursions along the route are the Kinderjik UNESCO windmills with private windmill, the Kinderjik bike tour, the Rotterdam walking tour and tasting, the Royal Delft tour, the Rotterdam architectural bike tour, or the Delfshaven Pilgrim Fathers walking tour. So on this one, you have 2 bike tours that you could choose between. So as you can see, you're always right along the river. All your stops are going to be right at the city center. The only time they're not going to be at the city center is if there's a high or a low water issue where they can't get into a certain area, or they have to stop short of it, or wait for it to go down or something like that. That's the only time you would have a situation water related that would deter your itinerary. And even if that's the case, they would get you off on a bus and take you on by bus to the next area where you would reload the ship if that's an issue. Okay, day number 7, Tulip Fields and Storybook Amsterdam. We're back to Amsterdam. You're gliding all the way back to Amsterdam down their iconic waterways, beneath historic bridges, and past elegant canal-side homes where city's charm unfolds at every turn. Okay, so you're back to Amsterdam. I'm going to jump ahead here because I want to see day 8. You're going to begin your journey home. I'm gonna go back to day 2 or 3. I want to see where does it take you to. It's like it skipped over. I know what's going on this particular itinerary. It probably does not go to that port. That is the second one that I saw here. My map is huge. Let me go out of this so I can show you. The second one that I saw is, oh, now I don't see it. Forgive me, guys. I don't know. There was another port here that they skipped over from day 1 to day 3. I'm like, well, why did they do that? So if we go to 1, there's Amsterdam. No, we don't want that. We don't want it to do that with the map. And close that. I want to just follow along this way. And it just doesn't want to be my friend. Day number 3, Rotterdam, I think was it right here. It doesn't stop in Rotterdam, which is okay. I mean, obviously there's a reason. It's probably because of the itinerary. So we're going to move on. We're going to talk about next. We're going to click on cruises here, and we're going to Belgium and Holland. Dutch and Belgian waterways. And it's going to populate. You look at the beautiful pictures. It's going to populate your itineraries for that region. And look at this gorgeous architecture. I can't wait to go there myself. It's on my list as the next trip, but hopefully we can get there if the worldwide turmoil does not continue and it lightens up a bit. We'll be there in August or December of this year. So, we'll just look at the best of Holland and Belgium real quick. And we won't go through it in detail. I'll just jump through it because we got 2 more areas of interest or seasons that we want to look at. But the best of Holland and Belgium. And 2026, if you scroll down here, there's similar destinations you're going to go to. Hello Suvius is on there. Dordrecht is on there. So there's some added stops on this one. And these are your dates. You can look down through here. I'm not going to go too fast. Let me slow down and make this a little bit larger so you can see it. You got dates in May, obviously. June, July. Then it jumps to August, and you've got September, October, et cetera, all the way to into December. You start getting into December, you start seeing your Christmas market sailings. So again, depending on where you go, when you go, and what ship, it's going to determine your pricing. And we can talk about details as far as what you like to see, where you like to go, different countries, different cities, different itineraries. That's something we can work through for you and help you decide. You see all these purple icons here. Those are different promotions, like the Solo Traveler Special, savings of up to $2,500, complimentary land packages, which include breakfast, hotel at a 4 or 5-star hotel, all your transportation needs from the ship to the hotel and return, and your excursions are included, but not lunch and dinner. Solo traveler specials, again, there's all types of promotions. Again, a lot of these have June 30th or July 1st deadlines. Military savings pretty much don't expire. So Let's move on to wine interest. So experience. We're going to go river cruises again, and we're going to go to interest, and we're going to go wine. So those of you who enjoy wine tasting, wine drinking, or whatever it is, collecting or perusing wine, this is for you. Sailing where wine takes center stage. And I know that one of them, a big deal. I'm going to do this. Uh, I got a choice between the colors of Provence and the taste of Bordeaux. Uh, I'm thinking the taste of Bordeaux. That's a pretty interesting one when it comes to wine. It has solo traveler specials. Many wine enthusiasts are solo, which is fine. We're going to look at the taste of Bordeaux. Let's look at that itinerary. Okay, on this wine cruise, you're going to savor the heart of Bordeaux on the river cruise, where wine takes center stage. Tour centuries old vineyards, the region's finest vintages, and follow wine's journey from grapes to glass. Explore historic castles and charming villages like Saint Emilion and Cusack Fort Medoc, all while enjoying the rich flavors and culture of southern France. Okay, on this itinerary, as you can see, your pricing is a little bit more. If we click to 27, well, it it's a little bit more for 27 than it is for 26. So let's look at what the itinerary looks like this year. Raise a glass to Bordeaux. You're starting in the Bordeaux region of France, including the town of Bordeaux. Whoop, 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 whoop. And on this one, day one, we're jumping around too quick. Embarkation day. Again, that night you're going to be touring, you're going to be sailing, so you'll have the day to relax and enjoy yourself and relax getting to your room and start to enjoy the ship. And you can go off the ship locally to Bordeaux and see some sites that are very close, and then get back on before they give you the onboard time, which is usually like 9:30 p.m. or so. So day number 2, you're in Libourne. The Saint Emilion excursion and Grand Cru class wine tasting. Saint Emilion excursion again by itself, or the Emilion bike tour. So you have some choices. Click on the wine tasting. We're going to show you all that's about. A picturesque gateway to Bordeaux's most celebrated vineyards. Wander through sun-drenched villages, explore limestone-carved churches, or pedal through the lush vineyard-clad countryside. Day number 3. Market treasures in Fransac wine. Stroll through Libourne's vibrant open-air market, sampling local specialties, or step back in time at an ancient watermill to learn traditional bread making. For a more active experience, hike through a nearby vineyard, enjoying wine and tapas along the way. Day number 4, the citadels and wine festivals. Step into the grandeur of Blaise Citadel, then cycle past riverbanks and medieval villages in the golden light of the afternoon. End your day surrounded by live French music and dancing, and of course, wine and the warmth of local winemakers sharing their craft. How about that? Blaise. Day number 5, Pauliac. Experience Grand Cru tastings in Medoc's celebrated vineyards. The rolling vineyards of the Medoc region, where world-class vineyards and refined landscapes captivate the senses. Whether you're strolling through the historic estates or hiking the sunlit vines, savor the elegance of Bordeaux's finest terroir. Day 6, explore medieval castles and sweet wine perfection in Cadillac. Tour the remarkable medieval Chateau de Rotelade before heading into the Sauternes wine region for a tasting of its prized golden hued sweet wines. Alternatively, delve deeper into local history, the castle history, or explore Cadillac by bike. Again, you have those choices. Day number 7, the capital of wine, Bordeaux. Back again. Enjoy a guided tour of Bordeaux's UNESCO-listed center, followed by a tasting at the La Haye de Calan, or opt for a bike tour through the city's extensive pathways. In the afternoon, choose between the immersive wine museum or the dazzling Les Bassins de Lumière light show. Your choice, your cruise, your vacation. Have fun at it. Enjoy it. That's what they want. Day number 8, you're going to be in Bordeaux for the night of the 7th into the 8th. So obviously on the 8th, you're disembarking, and getting ready to take your flight home. Some people choose, if it's a sailing that has the complimentary land package, then you would be either staying an extra 2 days before your cruise, or you would be given 2 nights after. Now, see how it says add pre-cruise, add post-cruise. Those, if it's one of those dates that has the complimentary land right here, like June 4th, It has a complimentary. You can get the complimentary land package. So you choose between 2 nights in Bilbao, 2 nights in San Sebastian pre-cruise, or 2 nights in Loire Valley and 1 night in Paris, or 3 nights in Paris. So they will tell you, or you got 2 nights in Madrid, 2 nights in San Sebastian. So you have choices here with the complimentary land package. So you want to make sure that the dates you choose has a complimentary land package. And as you can see, all of them on the Celebration of Wine cruise has a complimentary land package, which is worth thousands of dollars. Aside from the savings that I'm going to get for you, that's a huge amount of savings. Okay, here over here it tells you about some of the other promotions. The single supplement cruise, 50% off per person, double occupancy. Suites, 100% of per person, double occupancy fare. So if you get a suite, you have to pay the full double occupancy fare. Otherwise, you only pay 50%. The single supplement for land will be applied to pre and post cruise hotel extensions. So if you have that, you'll have that added to your cost. So that's your wine cruise. So one more we're going to talk about is your Christmas markets. So we're going to go back to the interest tab, and we're looking at the spirit of the season on a river cruise. Holiday time. Celebrate the most magical time of the year on Ama Waterways holiday cruises, where Europe's rivers come alive with Christmas markets, festive decor, and the warmth of shared traditions both on board and offshore. Or shore. As you can see, the beautiful Christmas market is set up. Europe is known for Christmas. They do it like no one else does. It's where it started, and they definitely know how to put on a good show when it comes to Christmas decorations, Christmas market, Christmas items, the smells, the sights, the sounds of Christmas. I mean, you're going to have a wonderful time enjoying Christmas. It's going to be a little cool. You know, you'll have a jacket because it's Christmas time, but you're in Europe in Christmas. I mean, that's pretty cool. From mid-November through the new year, we offer a special collection of holiday-focused river cruises and select departures, even combine two festive experiences in one memorable journey. If you want to, you can put two cruises together and make it a long one. Okay. Uh, let's take a look at this one here. And, well, Christmas time experience Europe's holiday charm, from local festivities on shore to onboard activities that bring the spirit of season to life. Journey to the iconic Christmas markets along the Danube, Rhine, and Main rivers. Discover cherished holiday traditions in the heart of Europe. And for some that take the New Year's Eve inclusive dates, you're going to welcome the new year with celebrations on board or on shore. Enjoy a memorable countdown immersed in the unique charm of a new destination. So the Christmas markets, I mean, if you see, these are all, if we were to look again at that Taste of Bordeaux one, for instance, because we looked at that once before, what's the difference? Let's take a look and see. Welcome aboard your holiday cruise, day one. Let's do it this way. Day two, vineyards and timeless holiday villages in Libourne, France. You wander through the monolithic church and hidden catacombs, or you want an active adventure, cycle through the wintry countryside, soaking in the beauty of Bordeaux's elite wine region. Day three, countryside charms and vineyard trails, open air markets, ancient water mills, traditional bread making, hiking through vineyards or with wine and tapas in hand. Holiday delights await you every step of the way. Day four, your citadels and wine festivals. Again, that citadel visit, the bike ride option, discover Borg's historic carriage museum. In the evening, toast the season with an exclusive wine festival featuring local vintages, live music, and festive dancing. You can imagine what that's like with the Christmas dancing and Christmas music or Christmas delights. Day five, Paulite, France. Experience Grand Cru tasting in Malac's celebrated vineyard. Similar to the other one, you're just going to have the seasonal specialties. You're going to have the Christmas market feel to the journey. Day six, medieval markets with a holiday twist. Chateau de Rocatidati, a 700-year-old medieval masterpiece, or Cadillac's historic castle and town on foot by bike. Experience Bordeaux's history and charm. Again, festive holiday settings. They're all going to be heavy with the Christmas markets for every stop that you make. Day seven, back to Bordeaux. Again, UNESCO-lined streets, the Halle de Baccarat market for seasonal tastings, biking along scenic paths, a spectacular holiday light show at Les Basses de la Mer, or a festive tour of the Bordeaux Wine Museum. So you have options. You have many different places and things that you can see on AMA Waterways. Obviously, your price ranges are all over the place. This is not something that you just do every day. This is like I don't know, once in a lifetime or once in your retirement time uh, journey to start your travel journeys throughout the world. If that's what you're trying to do, we're trying to do that. We're trying to do our bucket list. The older we get, to just relax and enjoy life. Journey home on day number 8 from Bordeaux with memories and holiday cheer. Again, you always stay overnight on the day 7 to 8, and then during 8 you have a relaxing departure where you get to your airport and they help you along the way. So that is AMA Waterways, guys, for tulip time, Belgium Holland in the summertime, wine interests in the fall, and Christmas markets during the holiday time. And now what I want to do very quickly, as I always do, I want to add my contact card. How do you get in touch with me? In touch, excuse me, if you want to start your journey, river cruise. Hi, Stapleton Direct Travel. You can reach me at Steven7867 at Ameritech.net, like it states on the screen. And my website is kind of smaller. See, I need to redo this. It is amawaterways.com/agent/Stapleton Direct Travel. So you have 3 ways to get in contact with me. And I will work hard as your agent because it's your money that you're spending, not mine. So I need to take care of your money the best way I can. And the way to do that is to treat you right, is to really do things right from the beginning. It's your money that you're spending, so I need to make sure you're happy. And I need the difference between me and Google or Travelocity or Expedia or something like that is you can call me up at 10 o'clock at night. And guess what? I'm going to answer the phone. You will not get that from Expedia. You will not get that from Travelocity. You will not get that from Priceline. But with Steve Stapleton and Stapleton Direct Travel, you will get personal service. My phone number is always available. My email's there. And I will work hard to make sure that you get everything you're entitled to and that your concerns are addressed. You don't have to stress in making the plans for your travel. All you have to do is prepare to pay, pack your bags, and make sure your passport's ready to go. And I do all the rest for you. Even if it's to get you to the airport, I can arrange for that too, from your home address to the airport. So keep those things in mind, and I encourage you to reach out to me if you'd like to get started. Again, AMA Waterways cruise only starts with a $400 deposit. It's affordable. When you look at it over time, if you say plan out a year and a half, and you make payments, you know what's expected, and in most cases, you can put it together and make it happen. So let's make it happen for you. Let's do that. Let's get you excited. Let's get the grandkids excited if you're taking them. If they're not, they'll just have to wait for you to tell them about it when you get home. But let me design that perfect trip for you. Let me make it worth your effort and worth your money. I'd love to do that for you. Thank you for joining tonight. This is Wanderers Who Love AMA Waterways, Steve Stapleton, Stapleton Direct Travel. We are signing off. I hope you have an excellent dinner or an excellent evening tonight. I thank you for joining.